All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Winners Diet Show. I'm your host, Project Mac, aka Max Solomon. Man, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You guys, I know you guys missed me on on Wednesday night. I know we had some technical difficulties. I couldn't go live on Wednesday night, but we will make that up on what is it, Sunday. So we'll make it up on Sunday. So obviously we're doing our live stream today. Coming back on Sunday, and then we'll be back again to our regular schedule Wednesday, Friday. Still thinking about adding a Sunday soon, but I gotta figure out what that's gonna be. So that'll be down the line, but definitely going into the new year with some new ideas. So hopefully we can make that happen. But besides that, man, shout out to everybody that's been in the live chat supporting. Um, Give me 1 second, you guys, as I get this thing together. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting on TikTok. As always, we're getting better on that as well. Um, Growing on that. Man, we're jumping on YouTube. The YouTube Shorts is picking up steam. So, man, we appreciate really just any type of support either way, man. Support in this game goes a long way. You know what I mean? It goes a really long way, and we'll take any support that we can get. So, if that means just a few followers a day, if that means a few likes a day, if that means, a few just positive comments a day, man, I'll take that any day of the week because I need all the support I can get, man. We're steadily climbing up the ranks as far as just followers, viewership. I had somebody that um, opted into my to my free fat loss guide from a TikTok post I made. Excuse me, a few days ago. So, I mean, it may not be coming. The support may not be coming in droves right now, but people are starting to notice. I'm starting to realize that, and that's all you can ask for, man. It's just people noticing. So I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in, tapping in, supporting. Um, just showing love, bro. This is very difficult, man. Getting on here every day. Damn, 13 live chat viewers. God damn. But this is very difficult to do, man. Getting on here and really just trying to give value, right, is very difficult. And I appreciate everybody that's really just been supporting from the start. I know this is not going to be an easy thing to do. It's not going to be, always up here, and it's going to be up and down. I understand that, but if we just get consistent people coming in every day, man, I'm cool with that, bro. So that's how I want to start off. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting, watching, liking the stuff, commenting, just just happy that we're giving value. That's all I can ask for. So make sure you guys follow us, man, on all our social platforms, Winners Diet Club on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Subscribe, follow my personal page, Project Mac on Instagram. So day by day, man, we're growing. But besides that, man, let's get into today's show. Shout out to everybody that's been in here. Today, man, we're talking about how your ignorance is keeping you fat. And we'll be breaking that down. Excuse me. I think I'm getting a cold out here, man. But we'll be breaking that down towards the end of today's show. So make sure you guys stick around, or you can watch the playback. And before that, we have our first two segments before we get into today's show. The first segment is the Fit Report, reporting on fitness news, things happening in the fitness industry. So we'll be covering that. And then we have our second segment, which is What the Fitness, which is basically reacting to viral fitness videos, just giving our commentary on that, giving our reactions, and obviously trying to, give teachable moments in those moments. And then, of course, the last and final one, we have the main event, the main topic of the day. We are talking about how your ignorance is keeping you fat. So we'll be breaking that down, of course, again towards the end. So make sure you guys stick around, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below anything you want to see next. All right. All right, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into the first topic of the day. All right, let's get to it. So, the first topic of the Fit Report, dietitian reveals the 6 biggest food mistakes Gen Z and millennials are making and what they should do instead. All right, eating for the gram rather than your nutritional well-being. The rise of social media has coincided with a surge in food misinformation and unhealthy eating habits among young and young-ish folks, experts warn. I see a few recurring misconceptions about among millennials and Gen Z around nutrition. Kylie Sakida, MS, RD, bestseller author, okay, says these generations care deeply about health, convenience, and feeling good, but modern food culture can make things confusing, she said. Social media, wellness trends, and the pressure to optimize everything shape how they eat and talk about food. Indeed, research shows that 61% of millennials and 70% of Gen Z rely on social media for advice, giving propaganda about nutrition ample space to spread. Prioritizing aesthetics over nourishment. Millennials and Gen Z grew up during the rise of clean eating and what I eat in a day content. A lot of people internalize the idea that healthy food needs to be looked needs to look a certain way: low carb, perfectly plated, matcha in the morning, green powdered by noon. Reframe: it is imperative to focus on how food makes you feel rather than what it looks like on your plate or how a picture of that plate will track on social media. Feed yourself, not your feed, if you will. Nourishment means energy, satisfaction, a steadier mood, and strength, explained Sakita. The most nutritious meals are often simple and not always visually appealing. I definitely agree on that. A recent study found that nearly 3 quarters of Gen Zers get their meal inspiration from social media. Sakata said that viral trends such as girls' dinner, gut health hacks, bean talk, metabolism shots, and cottage cheese everything can make nutrition feel like a moving target. People start to trust virality over the less exciting fundamentals, she noted. Reframe: Sakata recommends leaning on the true and the time tested rather than the trendy. Protein, fiber, plants, hydration, and consistency make a bigger impact than any single trending ingredient, or wellness trick. Modern food and wellness culture is marked by obsessions with resets, detoxes, cleanses, and extreme challenges. It feels productive and motivating, but it often turns into burnout and all or nothing thinking. Wellness is not a sprint or a hard reset, but rather a consistent commitment, Sakata emphasized. Let's read this last bit here. Daily rhythms move the needle more than intense, short term efforts, she continued. Small, consistent habits do more for your health than any 30-day challenge ever could. Normalize skipping meals in the name of wellness or productivity. Between intermittent fasting, coffee replacing breakfast, and the culture of being busy, many people skip meals and call it discipline or convenience. Unfortunately, the consequence of skipping meals include a starving brain that struggles to focus, regulate mood, and make good choices. To fuel mind and body, Sakata recommends prioritizing regular balanced meals. Eating regular supports hormones, metabolism, cognitive function, and emotional stability. Food is a tool that helps you show up as your best self. All right. So that look, man, I agree with everything she just said. And then before I get into it, let me take this swig of water real quick. I agree. Excuse me. I agree with everything she just said. I think we live in a culture now where everything is about going viral, right? Everything is about likes and clicks and Instagram, feed and just being seen. Like everything is about aesthetic. Like the food has to look a certain way before I post it. Like the video has to look a certain way before it gets posted. All that shit is bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. Just eat food. Just eat regular food. That's all you got to do. Like, I get it, man. We're in the era of social media. Everything, attention is the new currency, as they always say, right? And that's very true. However, man, you have people that are watching content like this, what I eat in a day, and it's just so unrealistic, man. Like, it's just unrealistic. Most of these people are unemployed. You know what I mean? They don't have any jobs. They're not really doing much. And it's just setting an unrealistic, an unrealistic standard for the average person. The average person is looking for advice. The average person is looking for guidance, but the problem is they're following fitness influencers that are focused more on likes than educating people, right? So when they see someone that says, "Hey, this is what I eat in a day," they get discouraged because it's like, where am I gonna have time to make all this food? I work fucking 8 to 10 hours a day. I got kids. I have, we got daycare. Like me and my husband work. Me and my girlfriend work. Like it's discouraging, and I don't blame them, right? And it's just like it leaves no solutions because they're not targeting the average person that has average responsibilities. So when I come in and I fucking expose this shit and I tell people, man, stop listening to these influencers because a lot of times they're just promoting for to go viral or for a check or just to get some attention. They're really not there to help you, right? I'm the one that comes in and says this. I'm the one that comes in and says the opposite of what they're saying or says the opposite of what they preach. I'm saying just eat a balanced diet. Well, I hate that word balance. Just prioritize protein, prioritize a high protein diet, prioritize hitting getting in enough protein per day, prioritize uh a little bit of exercise per day, whether that's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you don't have to be in there that long, right? And just do that consistently every single day. Like we have a weird culture right now where it's like food is just like food is held to this very high standard. Like I seen a video of Ashton Hall, the guy that is going crazy on social media. Well, he kind of died down now. I don't really see too much of his videos anymore. But when he was really going crazy, um, I saw an interview that he did with Logan Paul, and he said that they asked him, "Hey, like how many times a day do you eat?" Because he's a big dude, right? Man, we know he's on gear. And if you guys don't know what gear is performance enhancing drugs, aka steroids, right? That is enhancing his look, but that's neither here nor there. They asked him, "Hey, well, like how many times a day do you eat?" He said, "I eat once a day." And they're like, "What?" They were kind of taken back by it. They're like, "How can you be this big and have all this muscle and you only eat one meal per day?" He's like, "Oh, well, I try to earn my food. I don't eat till I get things done. I want to earn it." I'm like, "What?" But the crazy part is there's gonna be somebody that's gonna see that and feel like they gotta fucking do that to look like him, right? Even though it's so crazy to even think like that, but someone is gonna see that and be like, you know what? Well, Ashton Hall eats once per day, and he doesn't eat until he gets everything done. So I'm gonna do the same, and hopefully one day I'll look like him. Idiot! Like sometimes y'all don't realize this, man. A lot of these guys, when you're taking that much testosterone or whatever he's on, I don't know what he's on exactly, but a lot of times, bro, that messes with your hunger levels. A lot of these guys are on peptides. Excuse me. Peptides are another form of PEDs or performance enhancing drugs. And a lot of what peptides do is it kind of delays your hunger. It doesn't allow you to eat as much. So a lot of these guys will be on so many different types of anabolic steroids. They'll be on peptides, they'll be on testosterone, they'll be on HGH, they'll be on Anabol or Anavar, they'll be on Trembolone. So they'll be on all these different types of gear, right? They'll be using all types of drugs. So a lot of times it's going to delay their hunger, right? They're not going to be as hungry as the average person. So yes, they can eat 1 meal per day and it's not going to affect them. But they want you to do the same thing, or they want to promote that to you so you can buy their products. This is how I eat 1 meal a day to look like this. Here's my service. Buy my products, buy my course. That's how they get you. And it's just like it's not feasible, it's not realistic for the average person. So a lot of us are going to go down a very dangerous path listening to influencers that don't have your best interests at heart. You got to be very careful who you listen to. And I always get on here and I always say this, man. You have to be very careful who you get your advice from, because a lot of these guys are going to lead you down a very, very dark path that you are not going to, it's going to be hell to get out of, right? So you have to really make sure that the person that you listen to is speaking to you, is marketing towards you and not just towards, anybody that will listen, because that's kind of essentially what influencers do. They don't really have a niche. They kind of just market towards everybody and they're paid to do so. So you gotta be very careful with that. And I'll just say do what works for you. But as far as the food side, just prioritize protein, prioritize, getting in your carbohydrates, prioritize controlling your portion sizes, prioritize exercise, prioritize sleep, prioritize drinking enough water. That is it, man. That is the blueprint right there. You don't have to eat 1 meal a day. You don't have to fast 16 to 24 hours, right? You don't have to do a keto diet. You don't have to do a juice cleanse. Just stick to the basic fundamentals. Stop doing what everybody else is doing. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you have the blind leading the blind. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just trying to make a check off you. That's it. They want to make money off you because they know you're naive and they know you want information. But there's plenty of information out here. And a lot of times the answers are right in front of you. But you need so much validation from the influencers that you're neglecting everything. The right answer is right there in front of you. Bro, you got chicken in the freezer. You got rice in there. You got some greens over there. Put that shit together, man, and just make that a daily thing. You got eggs, you got fruit, you got vegetables, you got enough water. Like everything that you need is right there. You don't need all the extra stuff. Like, stop trying to make this shit so complicated. It really is not that complicated to get in shape. It really isn't. Because the more information that you go out and seek, and the more people that you listen to that have different messages, the more fucked up your head's going to be, the more confused you're going to become. So you have to find out what works for you, right? Find out what you feel like is the best option for you and not what somebody else thinks is for you. All right, let's move on to the next article here. Shout out to everybody that's been in here supporting. You dig? All right, let's move on to the next article. What we got here? Okay, so we got Wendy's is set to close hundreds of restaurants across the US by the end of 2025. So that's next month, you guys. That's coming up. All right, so it says here Wendy's to close hundreds of US restaurants by end of 2025. Wendy's is preparing to shutter hundreds of underperforming restaurants across the United States by the end of 2025 as part of a major restructuring effort aimed at revitalizing the brand. According to company statements and multiple reports, the fast food giant plans to close roughly 200 to 350 locations, representing a mid single digit percentage of its U.S. footprint. The move follows a series of smaller closures in 2024 when about 140 stores were phased out. Executives said the decision is focused on improving profitability and investing in stronger markets. Many of the affected stores have struggled with declining sales, outdated facilities, or increased competition. The closures will take place gradually beginning in late 2025 and may extend into 2026. While some restaurants will close permanently, others could be relocated, remodeled, or converted under the Wendy's broader modernization plan. The company emphasized that the goal is to strengthen its overall network rather than shrink it permanently. Despite the shakeup, Wendy's maintains roughly 6,000 locations nationwide and continues to pursue growth through digital sales and menu innovation. Okay, man. So it's looking like Wendy's is cooked out here, man. Wendy's just might be cooked. And I used to be a very big I used to be, at Wendy's a lot when I was a kid, man. Wendy's used to be one of those things where I really preferred Wendy's over McDonald's. In-N-Out wasn't really around at the time. I don't believe so. At least I wasn't aware of it when I was like a young kid, but I preferred Wendy's over McDonald's. I prefer Wendy's over Burger King. Burger King. I preferred Wendy's over Jack in the Box. Um, yeah, Wendy's was the shit. I love their little square style burgers. Those were cool. I like their milkshakes. Even when they had that controversy about the finger in the chili. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was years ago. That was about 20 years ago. But yeah, yeah, it's a shame to see what's happening. Well, I can't really say it's a shame. I think that it's just part of the economy of what's going on in the economy right now. Just it doesn't really make sense to eat fast food if it's the same price as groceries, because groceries will last you longer. Um, but fast food in 2025 is the same as groceries, right? It's just as expensive. So I think people are just making a better conscious decision to go with the grocery route. They're eating out less, and I think it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate because you're seeing more and more companies lay off employees. You're seeing more and more companies um just downsize, and it's kind of just a testament to where we are in the economy, man. um am I am I sad to see fast food go away in our communities? Not really. you know I think fast food is horrible for us. So I mean, I can't sit here and say that oh man, Wendy's is closing, oh man. You know I think we can do without some fast food, right? I think we can do without it. It's not the best for you. It's not the best for your health. I think we can do without a lot of these fast food chains until they improve the quality of their food, which they're never going to do because it's called fast food for a reason, right? So when you want something fast and quick, you're never going to get quality. It's impossible, right? Um, but it's to the point now where food is just so expensive. They had to make a decision. You know, I think if you look at the average Wendy's burger, I mean, let's look this up real quick, man. While we're here, let's just look up the average Wendy's meal in let's just say 5 years ago in 2019 compared to now. Let's look this up. I want to look this up real quick. Let me pull up Chat GPT so y'all can see this. All right, so it's tricky to get a precise average meal in 2019 versus now because the company doesn't publish a consistent combo meal average. Okay. Okay. So the average Wendy's meal in 2019 was $8 to $10. Okay. 2024 to 2025 average Wendy's meal is $10 to $13, depending on location and item. Implied increase maybe 20 to 40% higher than 2019 in many markets. So as you can see here, man, it kind of just it doesn't make any sense anymore to be eating fast food. Like it's just getting too expensive to the point where they're losing their consumer base. They're losing their consumer base. That's all it boils down to. And they cannot afford to run operations anymore. So, I mean, inflation is not going nowhere. It's not going down. It's it's here to stay. The prices now are today's prices. Today's prices are not yesterday's prices. Today's prices are today's prices, and it's only going to increase. So, until the economy fixes, which it probably will not, um, you're gonna see more and more fast food places like this downsize, and it just is what it is, man. And let this be a sign to you, man. Let this be a sign that seeing this happen should be a sign to you to tell you to get your ass in shape and start eating better food now. So now there's no excuse as to say, because that was the excuse back in the day, right? The excuse was, I don't have time to cook. Let me go and get fast food. Well, now, or the other excuse was fast food is too expensive. Well, now you don't have that excuse anymore because now the fast food is just as expensive as the groceries. So you might as well go with the option that is going to give you a better return. So there's no more excuses out here, man. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next article here. I think we got one more here. All right. This article says by the Athletic CH News or H News, people are joining gyms for social connection. According to ABC Fitness, social interaction and connection are driving consumers to join gyms, studios, and other fitness communities. Community isn't just a buzzword, it's a growth driver. Fall 2025 Wellness Watch reveals that 57% of active consumers say social connection is the top reason they join a fitness community, and 73% agree it helps them stay motivated. Gen Z and millennials are leading the charge, making fitness more social, inclusive, and community driven. Yeah, man. I've always said this, bro. Like the best way to build a community, obviously, is family, right? Um, but I would say the second way is a health club. Is a gym. The second best way is a gym, right? You can build so many connections, you can build so many friendships, you can even make business relationships at the gym, right? Like for me, the best networking I've ever done, right? The best networking I've ever had has been in the gym. It wasn't in the nightclub, it wasn't at social events, it wasn't at networking events like they always pushed on us. It was at the gym, bro. It was at the gym. Because at the gym, everybody's guard is down. No one's guard is up. No one feels like they're better than anybody else, right? Not all the time. But in the gym, it's kind of just like, yo, we're all in here for the same goal. We're all in here to get healthier. So there's not gonna be a there's always gonna be ego in the gym, right? I'm never gonna say that's never gonna be there, but the wall of being accessible is never gonna be it's never gonna be up, right? We're all in there for the same reason. So it doesn't really matter whether you're rich, you're poor, you're famous, you're not famous, you're big, you're not big. Like it doesn't matter. We're all in there for the same reason, you know, and we're all vulnerable to a certain degree because we're all doing something that's very uncomfortable. And by the time you're done, you're going to feel good about yourself to the point where you might want to be a little bit social, you know? You might be in a great mood, and that's how connections start to happen, right? So it's not a surprise that people are coming together um, through the gym, through fitness communities, especially right now where we are in the world with just, just everything going on, man. Just the economy, just politics, just everything, social media, people not knowing what they're gonna do with their life. Like, you need that type of community when things like this are happening, when there's a lot of tension in the world, when there's a lot of pain, um, and a lot of people that don't really know what their next move is going to be. You need that support system, and you're going to get that at the gym, right? Depending what gym you're at. If you're at a commercial gym like a LA Fitness or a 24, you're probably not going to get it there. But if you go to one of these box gyms, these boutique gyms, these independent gyms, you're most definitely going to get it there. So for someone like me, I always recommend, man, try to do both. Try to be in just to see the difference, right? Try to be in the commercial gyms, the 24-hour fitnesses, the LA fitnesses, the crunches, the EOSs, and then also be in these gyms where it's independent, where it's smaller, right? You have more of a community, a closer feel. Everybody knows each other's names, right? You're going to see more of a family unit, more connections and people getting along in those type of gyms where everyone knows each other. The commercial gyms, it's kind of just you come and go, it's community, it's like a public school, really, right? Commercial gyms are public schools. uh Private gyms are like private schools. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows their mom's name. Everybody knows, their grandma, their uncle, their aunt, their sister. Like, it's close knit. It's a community. The LA fitnesses and the 24-hour fitnesses, those are like more like commuter schools, junior colleges, right? People just come and go. That's kind of the vibe that you get from that. So it just depends on what you want. If you're someone that wants that connection, if you're someone that wants more of a family feel, then go to more of a private, smaller gym, because that's what you're going to get from there. Because it doesn't have that corporate structure, it doesn't have that corporate energy, right? A lot of these gyms be having corporate energies. Like, it just fucks the vibe up, right? You want to go somewhere where people relate to you more. And a lot of times that's more of these smaller private gyms. You know what I mean? Um, it might cost a little bit more, but I think depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a connection, if you're looking for more of a community, I think that's the better option, in my opinion. Because I've been to many gyms throughout my career. I've been a fitness trainer for the last 10 years. I've been in so many different gyms, more than I can fucking count, right? And it's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. The best gyms I've been to were private. That's just how it is, where you can just be free. You can, you can take your shirt off. You can kind of like film in there. Like, you can just be free, man. And, and the type of people that come into those gyms, because being in LA, you might have anybody come in there. You just never know. Because it's more of a community. It's less corporate and it's less paperwork that you got to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, so me personally, if you're right now, if you're someone that is looking to make friends, or for someone that's looking to make you know, just make real connections, I would say, man, go to the gym. That is where it's at. That is where people go to find themselves. That is where people to go to find a sense of belonging, right? Because it's very hard to do this somewhere else. Networking events are bullshit. The club is bullshit. You know, you're gonna find the best treatment at the gym every single time. The best treatment. All right, I think do we have one more here to go, or let's just move on? You know what? Yeah, let's move on to what the fitness. Let's get on to it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right. All right. So this next article kind of ties us into what we just talked about the gym. All right. All right, here we go. So this guy says he's complaining that no one but two try. Okay, what's going on here? All right, let's just watch the video. Fuck it.
But two tripod setups right in front of the dumbbell rack. Now I was gonna go there and say something, but as you can see, it looks like one of them is wearing like a bulletproof vest or something. So I made a business decision to mind my own business. Not one, but two tripod setups right in front of the dumbbell rack. Now,
okay, so he's complaining that this guy is setting up multiple tripods to film his fitness content. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm not telling you about these independent gyms, because this looks like an independent gym. When you go to these independent gyms, just understand that, again, it's not going to be like your typical corporate gyms. So the rules are going to be more relaxed. In 24-hour fitness, in LA Fitness, at the Equinox, at the Lifetimes, you can't walk around with your shirt off. You know, they're going to make you put that, shirt back on. So you can't walk around as free as you want to be. When you're at these independent gyms, excuse me, you can walk around with your shirt off. You can be a little bit more free. You can record, right? You can film content. You can kind of like just do what you want to do, right? Within the rules of the gym. But just understand that, man, like when you go to these independent gyms, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go to a social media fitness influencer driven gym. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of content creation, because that's how a lot of these people, or I don't want to say they're making their money off this, but that's how they're trying to make their money, right? Or if they are making their money, this is how they make their money. So if you're more of the conservative type and you don't like cameras around and you don't want people filming around you, then those gyms may not be for you. Again, you'll have better networking in those gyms, but it may not be for you. If you like more of if you're more conservative about being on camera. A lot of people don't like being on camera. A lot of people don't like people filming around them. So it can be they might see like an invasion of their privacy or whatever. I just think that's what comes with when you are going to one of these gyms. So, I mean, you can't really complain about it. This is what you signed up for, really, especially if you're going to like a gym like a Young LA or Just Train or what else? Shout out to JLT, shout out to all these guys. But if you're gonna be at these gyms, this is what you can expect. Expect people to take out their camera and film and do the most. Yeah, they're gonna be doing the most, unfortunately. But in their eyes, they're not doing the most. They're just making content. So if you're not cool with that, well, okay, well, go to a gym that is more corporate, that doesn't allow cameras. Go to a Live Fit gym. Go to a Equinox. You know what I'm saying? Go to a Lifetime. Very rarely do you see cameras out in those places. You're not going to see cameras in those places. So, you barely even see cameras in 24-hour fitness. I mean, I see it sometimes, but you're not going to see it all the time. And if they do, it may be discreet. But if that's more your vibe, then go do that. But don't go to one of these influencer, push gyms and complain that people are making content as influencers. You just look crazy. All right, let's move on to the next article, or next video rather. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, this woman says, so this woman here is complaining about how she has to do the most in the gym and eat right to stay attractive. Okay. So this is going to be a lesson learned for a lot of you guys that are on your fitness journey. This is going to be a forever thing. So don't feel like this is going to be something that you do for about 6 months and then stop. All right, let's take a listen.
That I have to work out like 5 times a week, eat my body weight in protein every day, get 10,000 steps every day. I have to do all of that just to stay moderately hot. Just to stay moderately hot. Like, not even like superstar, like supermodel level, just like to look like pretty good. That's a case that doesn't sit right with me. Like, all that effort just so you're not like chopped? Ridiculous. But I'm still gonna do it. I refuse to let anyone that used to know me say like, oh, she let herself go. That's my worst nightmare. And that should be your worst nightmare too. Do you want people to look back? Oh my gosh, what's she up to? I remember her from high school. What's she up to? Oh shit, she's chopped now. She gained hella weight. No, that can't be you. That can't be me. So we're gonna get up. We're gonna go to the gym. We're gonna eat our protein. And we're gonna do it with a big fat smile on our face. The fact that I have...
All right. Shout out to Becky. But did you guys hear that though? Did you hear what she just said? She said that the reason why she's doing all this is because she doesn't want to be the person that, what exactly did she say? She didn't want to be remembered as the person that got fat after high school, or, her friends are looking at her and they're looking at how she let herself go, right? So I always talk about how when you're trying to get in shape, your fitness goals has to be motivated by fear or pain, right? Because those are the two things that motivate us as humans, fear and pain. So in this case, her motivation was she didn't want to be looked at as the person that got chopped after high school, that gained hella weight, that lost herself, right? That let herself go. She doesn't want that to be her reality, right? So that's fear. That's what's motivating her every single day. She has to work out 5 times a week, eat her body weight in protein, drink her water, get enough sleep, right? And do this every single day for a consistent period of time. But the only reason why she hasn't quit yet is because of that motivational fear, right? So this is the reason why most people last throughout their fitness journey, or most people don't last, rather, throughout their fitness journey. They don't have any pain or fear behind their motivation or their motives. You need pain or fear, either one. How I said, hey, you want to drop 10 pounds? Okay, why do you want to drop 10 pounds? Well, I don't want to be looked at as the person that gained all this weight after high school. When I go back to my high school reunion, I want to be the fittest person there. That is fear. Okay? She's motivated. You're motivated by fear. You're motivated by what others might think of you, right? You're scared of what others might think if you gain all this weight. That's fear. That's going to make you go harder when things get hard, because it will at some point in your fitness journey, right? You're going to hit a plateau. You're going to figure out you're going to find some adversity. Something's going to happen to the point where you're going to want to have to quit. But in the back of your mind, this is the only motivating thing that is allowing you to keep going. Or, right? So we have that aspect of fear. The pain part could be, hey, why do you want to lose 10 pounds? Well, I was bullied when I was 13 for being overweight. And I don't want to be bullied anymore. All right. I don't want to be made fun of anymore. Okay. That's the pain right there. You want to lose 10 pounds because you don't want to be bullied anymore, right? Because you were bullied as a kid and that affected you throughout high school. It affected your self-esteem. It affected your confidence, right? So now you want to be the fittest person ever, so you don't have to relive those experiences, or you don't have to relive that pain of being bullied. So these are all methods that you can use in your fitness journey so that you don't end up like the average person, cooked, right? When things get hard, this is what you have to fall back on and rely on so that you can continue to keep going, so that you can continue to see more results. You can't do that if there's no pain or fear behind your actions. You have to have pain or fear behind your actions. Otherwise, it's not going to work. There has to be something driving you there. It can't just be, I want to lose 10 pounds just because. Oh, I just want to get healthier. Why? For what? You know, because if you don't get there, you're not really going to care. It's not really going to be a big deal if you don't get there because there's no pain or fear behind the motive. So just understand that, man. Pain and fear for motivation is very, very critical in your fitness journey. You need that. If you don't have that, it's going to be very hard for you to get to your goals. It's going to be very hard for you to achieve your goals. We're only motivated by pain or fear as human beings. All right, here we go. Let's get to this last video before we hit to the main topic. All right. Let's see here. What we got here? All right, this dude says jacked guys don't need to wear designer. Let me refresh the video. All right. Let's see what he's talking about here.
Guys do not need designer, bro. Our physique does all the talking for us. We don't need to wear that shit, bro. Shout out to my brother Willie for posting that shit the other day. Like, that shit really hit me deep, bro. Like, I know guys that will strictly wear designer clothes and Balmain and Gucci and all this shit just to get more attention from girls and just attention in general. When you're jacked and you have a good physique and that shit's popping in your clothes and you feel good about yourself, that shit does all the talking for you, bro. It's something money cannot buy. It's an instant sign of respect, an instant sign of this guy works hard. He has discipline. He knows consistency. He has good habits. That's something that the designer can't show off. Like, your physique literally does the talking for you, bro. We don't have to wear that shit. We could, but we don't have to, bro. Like, and by the way, H&M Slim Fit Tee, fucking amazing for my guys that work out. But it's like, we don't have to buy that shit, bro. Our physique does everything for us. Like, bro, we can literally put on anything we want, wear the most stupidest shit, but it's always gonna look good because we're in shape. That shit's crazy. Cheat code. Get your ass in shape. Jack.
Yeah. I've said this before. Let's take a look at the comments. Puts on cargo pants and a plain t-shirt from Zara. Wifey, where are you going all dressed up? Yeah. I say this often. The best fashion advice, get in shape. Pro tip, if you're jacked and you get a regular suit and get it tailored, it's better than any designer shit you can buy. Been saying this for years. We only need H&M shirts for real. Hit you deep sounds crazy, but you 100% right. Someone just told me that. I legit only thrift. I never buy expensive clothes. I'll make whatever I wear look good. Yeah, man, look, bro. I've been saying this shit for a long time, man. You can wear whatever the fuck you want to wear and it's going to look good on you because you're in great shape, bro. That is the best fashion advice. It's not about, the best fashion advice is to not, let me say this again. The best fashion advice is not to buy Gucci. It's not to buy Louis. It's not to buy Amiri. It's to get in shape. That's the best fashion advice, is to get your ass in shape, because anything that you wear after that is going to look good. And if you want to wear designer afterwards, that's just the cherry on top. That's going to look even better on you, right? But you don't need designer to look good, man. All you really need to do is just get your body right. That's it. Get your body right, clean up your diet, get some good sleep, drink enough water, you know what I'm saying? Like, go hard in the gym, push yourself. Bro, anything that you wear is just going to be accelerated. That's the ultimate cheat code to looking good, man, is just getting in shape. That's it. A plain t-shirt, some sweatpants, all right? People gonna think, oh, where you going? Are you an athlete? Like, what do you do for a living? Like, bro, it's night and day. It's night and day. Like, when I go outside sometimes, like when I wear like a hoodie or some sweats, right? And it might have like a sports team on it. People think I play for that sports team. People think I play for that team. I'm just like, I wish, I really wish I did, but nah, I don't. I'm a regular person, bro. I just, I take care of my body. I train like them, but I'm not one. I'm not an athlete, but I train like one. That should be your motivation, right? Hey, I'm not an athlete, but I train like one. And that's why I look like one. So it's very easy. And it's very easy to get confused for an athlete when you train like one. when you eat like one, when you look, like do everything you can to look like an athlete. Train like one, eat like one, sleep like one. Just have the daily lifestyle and habits of someone that trains like an athlete. You know, that's it, man. It just takes about 3 months to get in the best shape of your life. Really, 3 months, you know, but you got to make that sacrifice. And if you feel like you got to buy designer to cover up your bad built body, then that's on you, man. Designer is not going to save you. Unfortunately, it's not going to save you. It's not going to cover up that big ass stomach. It's not going to cover up that double chin. Wearing Louis is not going to cover up the fact that you know, cannot fit your clothes. Like it's just, in fact, designer ain't even built for you if you have a bad built body. You shouldn't even be wearing designer if you have a bad built body, because they're not even targeting their audience towards you. Their audience is for rich, wealthy, slim fit models. So if you are not in that category, I don't know why you're wearing designer, especially if you're bad built. You should not. That is not your target. Like, you need to get your shit in shape first. Get your life in shape. Get your ass in shape, and then you can think about go wear some designer. But if you're only buying designer to cover up the fact that you're not in the best shape, and you want to use that to distract people, I mean, you're really just hurting yourself in the long run, man. Like, designer is not going to cover up your poor decision making when it comes to eating habits, your exercise routine. Because one thing about your body will tell the truth every single time. Your body never lies. You can try to fake the car, you can fake the lifestyle, you can fake the house. One thing you can't fake that body. If you bad built, if you a big back, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that in real time. So there's no trying to get past that. There's no trying to get around that. You know what I mean? You can't fool nobody with that, man. We can see it with our own two eyes. We can see how bad built you are. We can see how bad you look. We can see that double chin. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? So you can do anything you can to hide the fact, but we're gonna see it eventually, and your body's always gonna tell on you. So why not just do what is necessary to get in shape, and then things are gonna be easier. Clothes are gonna fit better on you. You're gonna feel better about yourself, and you might not even get to a point where it's like, I don't even need designer, bro. I don't even need designer. So that's all we're trying to say. We're not trying to say don't buy designer, but we're saying, what we are saying is, what I'm saying anyway, is don't buy designer to cover up the fact that you're out of shape. Don't buy it to cover up the fact that you are poorly built. That's what I'm saying. All right, man. We are at the 53-minute mark. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Let's get to the main event today, man. So today's main event. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. So today we're talking about how your ignorance is keeping you fat. All right? Your ignorance is keeping you fat. So many of us, we get stuck, especially when we're in our fitness journey. A lot of us get stuck. A lot of us hit plateaus. A lot of us lack motivation. But it's not because, we don't know what to do. Sometimes we don't know what to do, but a lot of times we just lack understanding, right? We just lack basic understanding about basic principles of fitness. We don't know much about macronutrients. We don't know much about progressive overload. We don't know much about having adequate sleep. So it's like you have to understand the rules of the game first before you dive head in, right? Some of us don't know the rules of the game. That's why we get stuck. That's why we lose every single time. So before you get into a fitness journey, just try to educate yourself on the basic principles of fitness, right? Like we know the basics. Yes, you have to diet and exercise. Okay, but let's dive deeper into that. Let's not just look at it on face value, right? Let's just not look at it from the surface. Like let's dive into it. What do we mean by diet and exercise? Like let's dissect this, right? We need to understand the basic knowledge. That's how we avoid being confused, inconsistent, and kind of just going off of what we see on social media, right? So we're trying to inform you guys, and uh we're trying to get you guys more aware of things that you're going to need to be successful in this fitness journey, right? So let's break some of this down. Um all right, so for one, a lot of us think that we have to follow trends, right? This is part of you just not having basic knowledge of fitness. A lot of us feel like we have to follow trends. A lot of us feel like we have to do what's popular right now. So we're seeing the fasting thing, we're seeing the cleanses, and special fad diets. Look, all of these are temporary fixes. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying don't do them, but I believe truly that there are times and places to do these things. And the majority of us do not fall into these categories at the moment. I think we have to start small. We have to start with the training wheels, and then eventually we can take them off and do things that are more advanced. The cleanses, the fasting, these are more advanced things. The fad diets, those are advanced. Those are for people that already have a grasp of basic fundamentals and knowledge of getting in shape. This is not for you if you are just starting out. You need to do the basic stuff, right? So like I said, understanding macronutrients, proteins, carbs, fats, watching your portion control, making sure you're drinking enough water. Like just have the basic knowledge, right? And another thing is avoiding common myths, right? We see so many myths. We see so many things that are just not true, right? People feel like, okay, I eat healthy all the time. Like I eat my chicken and vegetables, and I eat my carbohydrates, and I drink my water, but I'm just not losing weight. Okay, well, here's the thing. You still can overeat healthy food as well, right? You can still overeat on food that is healthy for you. So, yeah, sure, you eat chicken, rice, and vegetables every single day, but you're eating too much of it to the point where you're gaining more weight in the process. So, I mean, just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that you're eating the amount that you need. Another one, right, is carbs make you fat. I'm gonna do a no carb diet. I'm gonna do a low carb diet or no carbs at all. Basically, essentially going keto. That's going to make you burn out very quickly. Because if you're trying to go no carb and you still have a workout routine, well, it's going to be very hard for you to put on muscle because carbs are the energy source to you lifting weights. So if you don't have any energy, guess what? You're not going to lift any heavy weights. And if you don't lift heavy weights, aka progressively overload, you're not going to build any muscle. So essentially, you're really not doing anything that's going to further your performance or further any results, right? What else do they say? I need to work out more, right? That's another one. I need to work out more. Here's the thing. You work out 5 times a week like you say you want to do, you're going to burn out. You're going to overtrain. You're going to push your body past limits that it's not ready to handle, right? If you're just starting out, you don't need to start out 5 days a week. You might need to start out about 2, maybe 3 days a week and spread them out. Give yourself a rest day in between Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Like give your body time to acclimate to what's going on. Your body isn't used to all this pressure that you're putting it under. You haven't worked out in 3 months, 6 months, sometimes a year. Like you can't just jump right into it and think you can pick up where you left off. Like you're setting yourself up for failure that way. So look, man, these are all things that most people just have lack of understanding, and this is why they're fat, right? This is why they don't get the results that they want. You need to understand basic fundamentals. So my solutions to you is, look, learn basic nutrition. That's the first one. Learn about calories, learn about macros, learn about food quality, right? Learn about real food, whole foods. Start there. Like the second one is stop guessing on how much you need to eat. Okay, well, I'm eating enough. I think I'm eating enough. Okay, that's the problem. You think you're eating enough, but you're not eating enough. You might be overeating. You might be undereating. You don't know because you're not tracking. So let's just start tracking there, right? Let's track for a few weeks and we can see how much food we're actually putting in our body. Because if we don't do that, then you're never going to know the right amount that's going in. You might not be tracking oil. You might not be tracking condiments. You might not be tracking drinks, right? Because liquid calories, that is a big sleeper when it comes to calorie intake. A lot of people don't know that. So you might be over consuming calories just based off of what you're drinking on top of your food. So there's just so much that you don't need to know, man, or that you need to know in this process. And another thing is the biggest one. Look, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to seek out some guidance, right? Don't be afraid if it's in your budget to hire a coach. And you may not even need to go one-on-one. You can go and take a group class. You can take, you can do some group training where it's a lower cost. Yeah, it may not be more individual focused, but at least you're understanding basic principles of working out, right? Your form might be off. You may not even know that you have poor ankle stability, right? So how are you going to build muscle if you have poor ankle stability? You need to build your ankles first and then work your way up. You need to build up your back first and then work your way up. Work on your core. Like these are all things that you may not know if you don't seek out someone that is a professional. Hire a coach, hire a mentor. Like just understand that you don't know everything. Because you'll be surprised, man, how many people think that they know what they're talking about when it comes to health and fitness. They really don't know shit. I get people all the time that come in with a pot ass belly, thinking they know what they're talking about. Yeah, I know what to do. I just got to do it. Okay, so why haven't you done it then? Like it's a very simple question. Why haven't you done it? If you know everything, if you're so confident in the plan that you have in place, why haven't you done it? Why are you 25% body fat as a grown ass man? Why do you have man titties? Why do you have a big ass stomach? Why is your stomach hanging over your midsection? If you know exactly what to do, why haven't you done it yet? The problem is most people think they know what they're doing, but they don't fucking know. They don't know shit. Until you put them through an assessment and then realize, man, I really don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, you don't. And that's okay. But stop coming in with your ego so fucking big, thinking you know more than the person that's been doing this longer than you and looks better than you. That's your problem. That's why you haven't progressed. You think you know everything. Your ignorance is keeping you fat. That's the reason why you're here. Right? So the moment people understand this, the moment people let go of their egos, that's when they're going to see things open up. But the problem that we have is so many people are ignorant. So many people have so much ego to the point where they just feel like They are know-it-alls. They think they got it figured out when they don't, because their body reflects it. We know you don't have it figured. We know you don't have it figured out. Look at your body. Look at your midsection. You can't do 10 push-ups. How do you have it figured out? And this is not an indictment on you. We're not trying to belittle you, but at the same time, we have to call out the bullshit, man, because it's too much bullshit going on in the fitness game. Too many people feel like they just know more than they think, and their body says otherwise. So stop being ignorant. Learn the basic fundamentals, and if you need more help, ask for help. You can ask me. I'm here all the time, bro. Like, my DMs are wide open. Now I'm not going to give you all the game, but I'm going to give you just enough to the point where you have enough, at least a basic fundamental principle. And you can get that for free here with my 7-day free fat loss guide. Okay. So all you got to do is hit that link in my bio, or you can go to winnersdietclub.com and you can get my Winner's Diet guide, right? And you can apply for coaching if you want that as well as too. So we have resources here for you guys. It's not going nowhere. I'm here. My DMs are open. Okay. But the biggest thing, I'm going to leave you guys with this, man. The reason why most people don't get anywhere in business and life with their health is because they feel like they know everything. They are ignorant. And the funny part is the results are very telling. Their reality says the opposite. Their reality says that they don't know what they're talking about through their finances, through their situations, through their relationships, through their bodies. So if you don't know anything, guess what? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't know. I don't know that. Okay, cool. Let's help you. But the reason why you're fat still, the reason why you will not lose any weight going forward is because you feel like you know everything. Stop being ignorant, man. Let your ego down and learn some shit for once. Just learn. Just sit down, shut up, and learn. It's okay. I know when to shut the fuck up and listen to people that know more than me. A lot of us can't do that. A lot of us have too much ego. A lot of us think we have it all figured out, and we don't. Anyway, man, that's been today's show. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys follow us on all social platforms. Winners Diet Club on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as follow me on Instagram, Project Mac on Instagram. Follow my main page. Make sure y'all hit that follow button, that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Sunday night. You guys have a great rest of y'all weekend. Enjoy your Friday. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.